Hello and welcome to TRB Collectibles. My name's Tom and I will be your guide through this estate sale. I'm going to let you in on the biggest secret in reselling. The item that carries the #1 value compared to anything else on eBay. Disney VHS tapes. I was so fortunate to come across all of these. I couldn't believe it. The potential value is in the thousands. Do you sense the humor in my voice? I really hope you do. Well, maybe in a different multiverse, they're worth thousands of dollars. But since Disney has released Disney Plus, a lot of those collector tapes have lost a lot of value because they're now easily accessible online. A lot of people would collect the Disney movies because they would be released every couple years and put back in the vault so you couldn't see them anymore. So you had to collect them on tape. So really the ones that would carry a value, not a lot, would be the sealed ones if you find them. The next item I would look up is this Metallica sheet music book. Now, specific bands carry a great value when it comes to sheet music, especially with certain songs. So Metallica was an easy lookup for me. It kind of stood out. When I did look it up, it did carry a decent value in the reselling market. But the one thing that got me, did you just see it? The condition. It looked extremely waterlogged. I was still going to look it up, but at that point, I didn't want to take a chance for somebody to return it just based on the condition of the book itself. So I did leave it behind. Does anybody remember the commercials? Billy Mays here for the grip wrench! And the other classic commercials? In the comments below, tell me your favorite Billy Mays commercial. I'm always amazed when I come across older appliances like this one. It's in beautiful condition. If you had to ask me how to turn it on, I would have absolutely no idea how to do so. But to this family that purchased that oven, it far exceeded any expectation they could have had because it just didn't stop working. And that's the most impressive part.
Is this your purse?
Oh, no, she has it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to pick up something.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
1977.
On these shelves, I noticed that there were yearbooks. Yearbooks do okay. If it's somebody well-known, they do pretty well. A lot of people collect them. But also a lot of people are looking for their own high school or college yearbook that they want to get back that they might have lost. But just know, with yearbooks, they can do well, but it takes a while for them to sell. And they do take up space, and they are kind of heavy. The more you know. Over to the left is what drew me to this sale. these Spawn figures, and it being day 3, I thought they'd be running deals by now. But it felt odd that all these figures were still here, and that they were still marked $25 a piece. When I had looked them up on eBay, if not $25, they were going for less each. So I was hopeful to group them all together to see if I can get a lot price for them. When I heard others try to do the same thing before I did, the person was not budging at the $25 mark, stating that they knew how much they were worth, and they were not going to budge on price. So, the Spawn figures stayed, and I don't think anybody bought any. The other notable item in this room was the military photography. It seemed rather official. It had military members, planes, tanks, buildings, you name it. A lot of it was really amazing photography that I haven't seen before. And there are a lot of people out there that would love to collect this style of photography. Never pass on looking it up. People want to collect specific dates, times, places, things. Whether it be to digitize it, or for their own personal collection. Not only were there photographs, but there were also negatives, so you could actually produce more of them. A lot of people do convert these to digital as well to share. There were also small imagery in this bin right here, and a lot of it. If you ask yourself and you're trying to figure out, well, how do I list it on eBay? Well, how do I know what it is? It's all about describing what's actually in the photograph itself. Sometimes it's so specific that you'll be the only one that's selling it. And comparably, it might have been overproduced publicly where people bought it in a gift shop. That you would see a lot of them. So if you have a very specific image that people are looking for in a specific category, time frame, place, they're willing to pay for it. It's up to you to describe it the best you can. So if there are dates on it, even better. And if you can get an accurate read on maybe an image word or two, it could help describe your item and truly bring in a decent profit on the photo. Remember when we looked up the book for the sheet music for Metallica? That guy picked it up.
Well, I don't know if it's. Yeah, but it's $10, $50. I mean,
Yeah, right, no. That's right.
Attention, attention, I found my favorite category at an estate sale. Media. I had to dig a little bit, but I found VHS tapes, DVDs, and a couple video games. Now, what I'm going to do is go through them and see what has the most value that I can take home. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know I do like looking up cross-stitch patterns, but unfortunately this one did not carry a value. But going in theme with cross-stitch patterns, a metal DVD, and that did carry a value. So that was my competition, and this are the sold listings. So I would be able to make anywhere between $15 to $25, but as always, you have to check to make sure all the discs are there and they're in decent condition. Luckily for me, they were all there and with no scratches. I was fortunate to walk away with this DVD for $2. I'm always going to say, even if you don't think you should try looking it up because you just never know. I wasn't going to, but I looked up this Back to the Future VHS tape collection, and it was going anywhere between $15 to $25 plus shipping. I was so surprised. But I'm glad I looked it up. Now, like with our DVD, you also want to check your VHS tape in each box. The reason being, sometimes, and you know what I'm talking about, tapes don't get put back in the proper box. So that's what I'm checking for. I'm also checking to see if any of the tapes have been eaten by the VHS player, which for me, they hadn't been. So I was fortunate enough to walk away with this VHS set for $3. A decent profit. All right, here's my question for you. Do you dig when it comes to estate sales, or would you pass on something like this? Let me know in the comments below. I spy with my little eye a $25 Spawn figure that's still here on the shelf on day 3 of this estate sale. I do hope that this estate sale owner enjoys their new collection of Spawn figures. I now understand why the military photography is still here on day 3 of this estate sale. Normally, it's purchased on day 1 or day 2 by collectors and or people who resell photographs on eBay. A lot of photographs. It's the price point that they're selling each photograph at. And I'll zoom in here in just a moment. They want $2 to $15 per photograph. And they weren't making any deals, just like with the Spawn figures. If you thought the Spawn figures and the military photographs were bad, well, welcome to Precious Moments. They wanted $10 to $50 per piece of these Precious Moments figures. Over the last 3 days, it doesn't even look like they sold one figure. This was somebody's collection, as you can see with these books, and they knew what the values were, not necessarily the estate sale owners, but the people that actually collected them. And over the last 2 days, the price points were just too high. Precious Moments is sought after, but it's not highly collectible. And they marked them down to 70% on day 3. Even at that price point, you're really targeting a very narrow market, especially with estate sales, so I can totally see why all of these Precious Moments are still here on day 3, even with 70% off. It's unfortunate, but hopefully this estate sale company finds somebody that's looking for a giant collection of Precious Moments. And today, that was not me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to click that like button. And if you have some spare time, check out some of these other videos. Thanks!